Welcome back, my beautiful empresses. Today, I want to tell you guys a story, not about what I manifested, but how I became the energy that called it all in. Because manifestation isn't about control, it's about calm, it's about alignment, it's about knowing that when you walk in divine authority, the universe rearranges itself to meet you where you are. And that is what happened to me yesterday. This is not theory. This literally happened to me. So I was flying on an airline, and with all the new FAA guidelines, everybody was saying like the same thing. Airport is closed, or get to the airport 4 hours earlier. The lines are crazy. Flights are being delayed. But I decided before I even left, no matter what happens today at this airport, I'm going to remain calm. Nothing, and I mean nothing, was going to move me because I'm the Empress. And so the universe already knew I was traveling today. And so what that meant was everything had to align before I got to the airport because, again, I'm the Empress. So I arrived at the airport about 2.5 hours early, and there were absolutely no lines. TSA was empty. It was like 2, 3 minute wait. So I go up to my gate. I prepared, let me sit down and wait. But then I saw a man that was giving out, well, not giving out, but he wanted people to apply for the airline's credit cards. Now, honestly, I had thought about this. This is actually in my mind like 2 days prior. And been wanting to get one for a very long time because this particular airline is one of my favorites. I really love this airline. So I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, I've seen you ask so many people about this card, but I would like an opportunity to apply." Now, keep in mind, I don't even know what my credit score is. I have no idea whether it's good or bad. I have no clue. All I knew was I needed to get this card so that I could possibly get a better travel experience. I don't know. I just wanted the card. So anyway, I applied and I got approved. And I was like, oh, wow, this is awesome. Like, I started manifesting it to the guy before I got approved. And he was so like, when I did get approved, he was like, people don't normally get approved for this on the spot. They normally send them a message and then it goes to their mail and the decision that is. But I applied and got approved on the spot, and I felt really good about it. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna been toting around this suitcase that I don't like. It's actually my daughter's suitcase. And I don't know how I picked it up and packed my stuff in it. I think because I was just too lazy. But anyway, I had went to the restroom to change my clothes and realized that her suitcase, the inside lining had torn. And I thought, oh my gosh, I need to throw this suitcase away. I should have already done it and gotten a different suitcase. But at this point, I couldn't do anything, right? Because my flight was going to be leaving at 5:47. Well, at the same time, I'm walking back to the gate from the restroom and I got a ping that told me my flight was delayed. I did not get mad at all. Like, I was like, okay, what is it that the universe is trying to tell me? What do I need to do? So I'm walking and I saw Toomey. There are lots of Toomeys in the airport. And I've been in there several times, but this time I decided to go in. They had this suitcase that was beautiful. And I said to the girl, you know what? Let me get this bag. Keep in mind, I don't even know how much this bag costs. But to me, I'm manifesting. I really don't care what the bag costs. I literally just got proof for a credit card. So I was going to use it to purchase a bag and, be done. Well, I didn't think that literally you just applied. You don't have a card. So I don't even know how I was able to get that card downloaded in my wallet. I think they sent me an email and it asked if I wanted to see my card number. I saw it, downloaded it to my app, to my GPay wallet, and told the girl that I was going to get them, but I wondered if she had a red weekender bag to go with it. I still don't know how much the price of the suitcase is. She says, you know what we do? We have one in the back. It's in a box. Do you want it? And I'm like, yeah, I want it. because I'm manifesting. I want this suitcase. And if anybody out there that knows me know that I love to match. I can't even help it. It's in my DNA. I love to match. So she had the weekender bag and the suitcase in a beautiful color. It was not black. It was a beautiful, like burgundy wine color. So she rang it up and I gave it a credit card. Well, I didn't give it a credit card, but I used to tap on my phone to pay and it declined. Let me tell you. I was like, you know what? I could pay with another card. It's fine. I tried manifestation, but no, I did not stop there. I said to her, wait a minute. I don't think it declined because it was new. It said you needed to activate it. So I called them up and they said to me, ma'am, you can't use the card. You don't even have a card. We're gonna have to send you one. I'm like, ma'am, I already have it in my wallet. She said that's not gonna work. I was like, oh my gosh, is she serious? There is no way I came into the Toomey store, found the suitcase and weekend bag I want, and now I can't get it using the card because I'm trying to get the points. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try one more thing, and if it doesn't work, then I'll just use my other credit card, right? I'll just pay for it. But at this point, I feel like the universe had provided this credit card for me, and I wanted to use it to buy myself a gift from the universe. So why wouldn't it work? So I said to her, let's try this. I finally knew what the limit was on the card because I asked the representative. So let's go ahead and run them separately. So we did. I walked out with my bags. Of course, I had to pay for, maybe it was like a 200 or $203 difference. So that was fine. But I got the bags. It was not as much as I thought it was going to be. She said they had a sale. I had no idea. There were no signs in the store that was saying that they had a sale. I didn't even know that Toomey had sales, but that's what she said. I got the bags. And she said, you should get them engraved. And I'm thinking, you can get them engraved? She's like, yeah, the tags on them, get them engraved. I said, where do I do that at? She says, you have to go all the way to F. Now, I'm at the Atlanta airport, right? And y'all already know Atlanta's a huge airport. I'm going to miss my flight if I go to F. I'm in A. That means I have to go all the way across the entire airport to get to me that's in the international section. I'm on domestic. So I said to her, you know what? I'm just going to have to do it. But in my mind, I was a little disappointed. And I said to her, you know what? I would really love to get them now, but my flight's going to leave soon and I won't have enough time. Well, at the same time, my phone dinged and told me that my flight had been delayed to 8:47. As I'm speaking to her, I told it dang, and I told her, oh, I guess I have time. So I'm going to be heading down to F to get my bags engraved. I went down there, jumped on the plane, but keep in mind, I manifested 2 new bags from Tommy. So I jump on the train, go down to the international terminal to get them engraved, get all the way there. And the lady in the store, she says, I don't know how to do engravement. And the gentleman that does, he's he's on break. So of course I'm like, oh my gosh, I just don't believe this. I came all the way down here. I said it to myself. And something inside of me said, no, you're going to get him engraved. So I said to her, if he's on break, then I'll just wait because he's here. She says, but I don't know if he can do it. I said, that's fine. I'll just wait for him to come back and then we can ask him. So I waited for him. He walks in and she says, this lady's waiting on her bags to be engraved. Do you know how to use the machine? He said, yes, of course. And he proceeds to tell me to put my bags on the table. And he starts engraving my tags for me. So at this point, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I just manifested all this stuff in a short period of time. And saying that this man is going to be able to do it. Well, I felt like I was hot. I felt like, oh my gosh, what else can I do? It was like after 2 o'clock, almost 3, and I needed somewhere to relax. And I looked up and saw that they had a SkyMiles Club. And I'm thinking, you know what? I got on the phone with my husband and I'm telling him, My flight's delayed till 8:47. I'm going to the SkyMiles Club. And he's like, how are you going to get in there? I don't know. I don't know what the SkyMiles Club is all about. I don't know what they do in there. All I know is when I walked past them on my way to get my bags engraved, they had a dinner menu at the door and I was hungry. That's all I knew. And it wasn't that I couldn't afford to buy myself food, but I didn't want to sit out there with the crowd of people in the courtroom eating in the food court eating. I felt like I deserved to be somewhere else, like in a dining experience, in a relaxation environment. And even though I didn't have any idea what that club was all about, I walked up to the door. I told my husband I was going to call him back. And when I did, I would be in the club. Yes, I did. So I walked up to the door, and the gentleman at the door, I said, what do I need to get in here? And he says, are you flying on this airline? And I said, yes. He said, are you traveling from Mexico? I said, no. He said, where are you going to? I told him I'm on domestic. He said, this is international. I said, I know, but I think I'm supposed to be here. And he looked at me and he's like, listen, you have an American Express? I said, yes. He said, well, go ahead and upgrade it and get that card over there. It was a purple card. I said, is there no other cards that'll work? Because I have some American Express cards. Matter of fact, I just got a gold one. And he's like, no, those cards won't do. There's only two cards that can get you in here, platinum or reserve. I was like, wow. I mean, I don't even know what kind of cards there are, but platinum sounds like top of the line to me. I don't know what reserve meant, but it was purple. That seemed like royalty. So he gave me the phone number. I called to get an upgrade, and the lady says, I can't upgrade you. You literally just got a card today. So I didn't think about my other cards, I just went on that and I said to her, well, what else can I do? I need to get into the SkyMiles Club. And she said, well, you can apply. I can transfer you and have someone take an application. And I'm thinking, oh my God, the guy told me not to do that. I need to upgrade. So I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it because I need to have this special card. So, I mean, what can happen? The universe wants me to get it. I'm going to go ahead and apply. So I get on the phone with the guy and he starts asking me the question. And before he hits submit, he says to me, is it okay if I submit your application? And I felt kind of nervous. I felt kind of nervous because I didn't want to be disappointed because now the entire Sky Miles Club knows, not, I mean, the employees that are at the door, they know, and at the front desk, they know that I don't have a card to get in. They know that I'm trying to get in here, but they don't know if I'm going to be qualified. And now I'm sitting in their lounge area, trying to get through or pass the front desk area so I can go to the back. And if he hits submit and I don't get this card, I'm going to have to do the walk of shame out here, like serious. And I'm thinking, there is no way the universe is literally going to embarrass the Empress. I'm the Empress. I need to start walking in my authority. So I said to the guy on the phone, listen, I need you to manifest this with me. I need you to feel my vibration through this phone. I need to get into this Sky Miles Club. My flight does not leave until 8:47 tonight. I am tired. I am hungry. And whatever this club is about, I've never been in it my entire life. And I want to go in. So manifest with me. That man said to me on the phone, ma'am, this call is being recorded. Like, what does that mean? Come on, people. I'm like, could you be human here for a second? This is a woman asking you to help me manifest so I can get into the club. Like, I need to get into this club. And if you hit submit and I don't get in, I'm going to be crushed. I said, but now, I said, you know what? You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I said to the universe, this young man on this phone is watching me manifest this. And so if I don't get into this club, he will know that manifestation fails. It does not work. That everything that I'm speaking to him right now, and I don't get into this club, it is not going to work. But when I get into this club, he's going to see that manifestation is real. It works. I've been using it in this entire airport the whole time. There is no way I'm going to believe that I am not going to get this card to get into this club. I am getting in here today. So this is what I'm saying on the phone. He's like, ma'am, aren't you in an airport? I said, yeah. He said, aren't there people around you looking? I said, I don't care if they're looking at me. Maybe they'll hear me and start manifesting for themselves. I am getting into this club. And he goes, well, even if you do get approved, they can't let you in. You don't have a physical card. I'm like, hold on a second. I go to the lady at the door and I said to her, ma'am, she says, were you able to upgrade your card? I'm like, no. What I'm doing is I'm applying for that card, for the reserve card. And so I'm just trying to figure out that if I get it, if you guys are going to let me in. And she says, you have a ticket? I said, yeah. She said, let me see your ticket. I showed her my boarding pass. And she says, well, if you get approval, let me see the email and I'll let you in. And I was like, oh my God, yes. I go back to the guy on the phone. I'm like, sir, she said I can get in if I get approved. He says, really? We're not aware of that you can do that. I said, well, she just told me that she's going to let me in. When you hit that submit button and I get approved, I'm going to walk in. So she says to me, the lady walks over and she says, ma'am, there's no guarantee you're going to get approved. I'm like, yeah, I know there's no guarantee from what you guys are saying, but I'm the Empress. I am the guarantee. I said, ma'am, I'm going to give you your approval email. And she said, ma'am, you may not get approved. Do you understand that? When you apply, you may not get approved for this card. Now, I'm watching the people walk into this club, right? I understand what she's trying to tell me. I hear her all 3 times she told me if. I got it. So I looked at her and I said, ma'am, give me one moment. Let me finish this call and I'll be back with the email so that you can see. I'll see you in a minute. I go back to the guy. He's on the phone and he's like, ma'am, you still haven't told me if I can submit the application. And I'm like, I took in a deep breath and I said, I have been manifesting all my life. Maybe I did not call it manifestation. Maybe I called it faith. Maybe I call it trust. Maybe I call it believe. I am not going to stop now. I am getting in that club today. And I am giving you permission to hit that button and submit my application so I can get this reserve card, so I can take my place and my seat at this table. My life is changing from this day moving forward. And there is no one and nothing that is going to stop me or is going to lower my vibrations. Do you understand? The man said, thank you for your permission for allowing me to submit your application. I'm sorry, guys. It was just really funny the way that, people can react to what you're saying and what I'm believing. And he does not, I feel as if he didn't want me to be disappointed because he didn't think I was going to get it. It felt like everyone around me didn't think that I was going to get approved. Nobody did except me. When he was done saying that, I said, God, there is no way that you brought me this far today with all the gifts I've received. And now I'm proving to these people that work here and people and the gentleman on the phone that manifestation really works. And you just got to speak it and believe it. I said, if you failed me now, you fail an entire generation of people. You are going to fail this young man on the phone, the lady at the Toomey store, the gentleman at the card counter when I applied for the first card. You're also going to disappoint every single person that is sitting here at this Smile Club watching me go through this and act like a crazy manifestation queen, because that's what I am. And if I'm going to be a fool, today is going to be that day. I will cancel my podcast. I will stop telling people about manifestation if this does not go through, because I need to apply this to my own life. I need to see this work, although I know it can work. I am putting the universe to the test. And as I am saying it, the gentleman interrupts me and he says, "Congratulations, Miss Mitchell. You've been approved." And I just started crying. In that moment, it was everything that I believed, that what believing in God, trusting in Him, believing the destiny on my life, believing my life's purpose and the work that I've come here to do. I can't tell y'all how that felt yesterday. I started crying. I started crying not because I was able to get into the SkyMiles Club, not because I was approved for this card. I started crying because during that journey to get to where I was at that very moment, I remembered all of the other lives that I inspired. And I don't mean just on that day. I mean, from the very moment I started believing in me and I started believing in God and I started believing and trusting the process. They all had hope. Every person I had came into contact with at that moment was going to win. They were going to win if they took what I gave them, that nugget, that thing that you can feel that's coming out of my voice, that essence of me being the Empress that I was told that I am, that I believe that I am, that I am walking in currently. I believe in myself. I believe in my power. I believe that if I open my mouth and say those things and feel it and know it and shut out the negativity, the doubters, the haters, the naysayers, I'm going to accomplish big things in my life. This podcast is not just for me. This podcast is for every woman that they told could not do it, wasn't smart enough, wasn't clever enough, wasn't pretty enough, wasn't light skinned enough, too ugly, too short, too tall, too fat. The list goes on and on and on as to why you can't do it and why you shouldn't do it. I'm not here to tell you that, Empress. I'm here to teach you and show you how to align with your purpose, with your destiny, with your power. If I can do it, you can do it too. And it's not that I'm doing anything different than anybody. My credit is not perfect. Literally, it is not perfect. I'm not in the 700 club. I don't even know if I'm in the 600 club. I don't know where it is. But what I do know is that none of that stuff even matters, because I carry an essence, and my essence is felt all over, everywhere I go. And anyone that encounters this essence, if you tap into this energy, you'll be able to manifest like me, anything. And this podcast is about that. It's about learning how to empower yourself. You learning the power that's on the inside of you. Because when I walked inside of that Sky Mile Club, there was no stress, quiet energy. In that moment, I realized this is manifestation. This is a new beginning, a new chapter in my life. See, most people think manifestation is about making things happen, and that's somewhat true. But it's really about allowing them to unfold. I don't chase. I don't panic. I don't force the timing. I stay in the flow. I trust that every delay, every detour was divinely purposed. See, we ask for elevation. But when the universe rearranges the plan, we call it an inconvenience, when really it's alignment. If I was thinking in the opposite direction, I'd be confused. What if your delay is actually your direction? Because that's what it was for me. The Empress doesn't rush. She doesn't beg. She doesn't panic. She aligns herself. She decides who she is, and the universe matches that frequency. That day, I walked into the airport as if everything was already working in my favor. And it really did. I came home with 2 engraved bags, 2 American Express cards, and I was now a member of the SkyMiles Club. But more importantly, I came home reminded that manifestation is not magic, it's identity. It's me knowing who I am, that everything is always working out for me, whether I see it or not. Delays are divine. I trust the timing. I flow with the universe, not against it. It was so easy for me to get everything that I wanted, everything that I'd manifested for, because I didn't just say it out of my mouth. I felt it. I believed it. Just as I'm talking here to you, and I felt it when I was saying it. It made me feel powerful. It made me feel strong. Like, I know my purpose. I know who I am. I know why I'm here. Queen, the next time life reroutes you, don't fight it. Maybe the universe is just setting the stage. What if the flight delayed, the detour, the not yet, is really your alignment, preparing you for overflow? Maybe. You are not unlucky. You are unfolding. You are not behind. You are being divinely timed. So protect your peace, Empress. Trust your path. And remember, the throne within you has been waiting. I'm going to be sitting on mine. Matter of fact, I'm sitting on it right now. I'm your host, Karen Mitchell.